All right, so it says that we're live, and we're joined tonight with Mr. Nisi for help in the background, and we have David from DBTech joining us tonight. And
Hey, good
hopefully,
evening.
there's no smoke tonight. I don't think it's possible, but like I told David earlier, where there is a will, there is a way. So thanks everyone for joining me tonight. Thank you, Mr. Nisi, for giving me the thumbs up. I appreciate it. So I 100%, okay, get out of here. So I 100% don't know what I'm doing. And um, David was kind enough to take me on this journey and he asked me what questions I had. And no word of a lie, I told him I didn't think I had any questions. And I felt that I had some knowledge stored away in the old noggin. And he was like, okay, sounds good. And then I realized about, I don't know, half an hour, no, an hour ago, that I never set up my show for tonight. And I never messaged David to make sure we were still on for tonight. And I did no homework or prep beforehand. So this is, I'm doing the SAT without any studying whatsoever. So happy holidays to you all.
I've been
So,
waiting all week.
right? Like we're here for the show. So yeah. All right. Let me see if I can go over yonder here. And you know what? I'm not even going to try that because I think that's going to get me into a lot of trouble. I'm just going to go through the list of people on the side here and say hello. And I'm not going to try to be all spicy tonight. All right. So we'll start at the bottom because I think that makes the most sense. I think I said hi to everybody. If there's someone that I left out, I apologize. Oh, James just popped in. So, James from the Dundas Junction Model Railroad, welcome. I think I've already said hello to, oh, Split Rock Tomas is here. Holas. Uh, Thomas Split Rock, we've got Three Dubs, James, we got Mr. Nisi. Oh, I'm doing this on the fly. Here we go. Keep going. We've got John from, I always screw up his name, Schuylkill River Valley. Kyle Stevens, keep scrolling up. I can do this. Robert Darby, I think I said you, but if I didn't, welcome. Keep scrolling up. Keep scrolling. Got Dwight from the Curly Express. Welcome. I'm scrolling. I'm scrolling. John Knopful. Lynn McCurdy. Lynn was the first one in tonight, so he gets the cookie with a little bit of blue smoke on top. Mike Deep Run, if I didn't say hello, hello to you. And I think I've covered everybody that I saw. Oh, Jerry, Boxcar Jerry's in here. And yeah, we're talking low budget for me tonight. I'm not even trying to get on YouTube because I'm afraid I will, and then I will end up leaving the building and not meaning to. So I'm not going to chance it. Um, and oh, and Container Man is here tonight. Roy is here tonight, so welcome. Don't know if you're on the road, but thanks for joining in. And let's see, John Schuylkill River says I said, oh, Schuylkill River Valley. I finally did it. Perfect. Sweet. All right. So, what I've asked David to do with me tonight, and I will change cameras because I don't want to be like holding things in front of my face, was to ride along with me as I wire these up, so to speak. I
Okay.
think I have an idea of what you're supposed to do, but I'm not 100% sure. So,
What are we
uh,
wiring?
say that again?
What are we wiring?
So, what I'm looking at doing in the future, not right now, was each one would be like a certain block. So, like this would be like the northeast corner of the layout. You know, like this is the northwest corner of the layout, that kind of thing. Like eventually, so that I
For
can get,
track power?
yeah, so I can get the wires running back to the power bus. I guess is the correct terminology. Hey, Santa Fe Bob, welcome. So, what I wanted to know, and as I started to sit here like a half an hour ago to try to get all my homework done, I realized, I have my wire is 14 and it's stranded wire. And I got to be honest with you, I just remembered why I don't like stranded wire because it's a lot of little pieces and I'm not real good at the whole twisty thing. But what I did, oh, before I even go any further, I have a question, David. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, yeah.
That's the screw from the front. Now that's out of the package. I just took it out of the package. Is that bad for like I immediately think power, electric, you're arcing. Is that like a concern?
Well, as long as you don't mount it to anything metal.
Oh, so like if it's mounted to wood, it would be all right, but if it's on metal, then that's an issue.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
as long as it's
And then
covered.
another thing I
Wood.
have for you is I bought these little ditties.
Sure.
Okay. And I didn't realize because
You get
again,
100 of them.
no, because I didn't realize how many I needed. So I
Go
believe I
back to the
have,
store. You need
yeah, right.
100.
Okay, I need 100. Okay, so the
Yeah.
next thing is while reading my homework just now, it says that I need a crimp tool, and I'm trying to use. Well, I have Mr. Nisi basically using these pliers to try to crimp this thing.
No, that ain't gonna work.
It's not going to work. Okay. All right. So the next question too is that when I stick that wire, that copper wire inside of here, is it supposed to be sticking out the other end, like coming past this
Just a tiny
plastic?
bit.
Just a little bit. So
Yeah, just so you can see it.
just so you can see it, and then you crimp it down.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. So okay. So
What's the other crimp tool you have on the left?
this right here, this thing here, that's wire cutters.
They're just strippers.
Just
Okay.
strippers, cutters and strippers, and then I have that. I don't have a crimper. I guess I just figured I would. In the past I've heard you guys like crimp these things, and I hear a cracking noise, and it's like good to go.
Yeah. Trying to find my crimper. It's upstairs.
Said as I need a. Oh, I gotta find it in English. Where the heck is it? Crimp with an Izumi number 34 dye index blue. So based on what color these are, that's the kind of crimper you have to have?
No, if you get a crimper, it should do all sizes.
Okay.
The difference in the color. I'm sorry, I keep hearing an echo, so that's why I'm talking and that stuff.
Okay.
If you look inside the connector,
Yeah.
the size of the hole is different. Like the red one is smaller, and the blue one is bigger.
Okay. Right. Gotcha.
If you look at
Yeah.
it. And you can jam 2 wires in a blue one.
So you're telling me I could take 2 pieces of this and twist them together and then shove it inside of there and crimp it?
If they fit. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because when I tried crimping it, you could pull it fell back out, so I had to have Mr. Nisi do it. Okay, so I need like 100 of those eventually.
Yeah, you got to make sure you have the right size crimper.
Okay.
Or the right size connector for whatever wire you're using.
Yep.
So if you're using a bigger wire, you want a bigger connector.
Yeah, it says it's a 16 to 14, and my wire is 14.
Is that wire really 14?
Let me double check. Ow. It says 14 STR CUBE blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's 14, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's 14 stranded.
Hold on. Oh, so it is.
Yep. Which I'm starting to realize is a lot of wire. It's a thicker wire, and I probably could have gotten away with something smaller.
18 easily.
Okay. So let me ask you this. The wire that goes, the original wire that would go from this to the bus would be like the 14, and then the feeder wires, these would be feeder wires, these would be like 18. Is that correct?
That'll work.
Okay. All right. The next question I have for you is that, let me find. All right. So got the copper wire. I got a whole lot here exposed for this little ditty. When you bend this, I realize from experience when I've tried to when I've tried to connect wire to the back of the bus, that as I'm doing it, the damn wire is like unraveling. So what is the direction that I'm supposed to bend it? Am I supposed to bend it towards the 9 p.m. or the 3 p.m.? Like hook it to the left or hook it to the right?
Well, as you're tightening as you tighten down the screw,
Right.
you want it to kind of go around the screw.
So
Yeah,
I want,
yeah,
so I
yeah.
want to go to the left.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So one of the major issues I would have trying to do this is this wire is really thick, and I forgot how big it was or how thick it was until I went to work with it tonight and was quickly reminded that this is a heavy duty wire. All right. So
That's why the spade connectors are better.
yeah, because you can just shove them in there and crimp it, and then you're good to go.
Right.
All right. The next question I have for you is that I noticed when I went to attach, when I put this one in, I'll go ahead and tighten it down just for grins and chuckles. ¿Dónde está? Let's get this in here. All right. I also noticed that when I put that down, if I go to put one on the other side, they're gonna, the tips of the spade is gonna overlap the tips of the other spade. Is that good or bad? Or do they just?
Well, what you want to do is, like, one side of that connector is flat and the other side's rounded. So if you take one and put it upside down, and then the other one on top of it, face it the other way.
So it's okay if they're touching?
Oh yeah.
All right. So
What I meant, you put two of them on the same side. Crying out loud! I had one right here. Hang on, Missy. I had one of those connectors here, and now it's gone.
oh no, you're good. Hey, Artie, welcome. Are there
So
odd sizes? Are there odd sizes of wire? Like
No.
9/7? No. Is there a reason for that?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
Somebody got to Google that.
Okay. Thomas, Google it.
Rick's in the house.
Welcome, Ricker.
Yes, you can put two on the same screw. You just have one, right side up, and one. You can't see that. One upside down.
Okay.
John Benicki says yes, there are odd size wires.
All right, John. Welcome, John Benicki. All right. So I'm half behind in this tonight. I really, really am. So you know what? Can you crimp another one of these on here? Because these are
okay. That's what I thought, John Benicki. Not until they're probably over like 10 gauge or something. That's what we were talking about, Artie. The color of the connector determines the size of the wire that you can put in there.
All right. Can you go ahead and crimp that for me? I'm passing this on to Vanna on the side, and then.
See, I'm going to run and get two different type of crimpers to show you.
Okay, cool.
And I'll get. I know I got a terminal block there somewhere.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
Strippers? You need strippers?
No, somebody asked me to show the wire strippers.
Show the wire strippers?
Yeah.
Here's my wire strippers. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry guys if I'm not paying attention to chat. I'm like a deer in headlights again. I didn't do my homework. So now I'm trying to do. And then if you can put crimpers on that for me. All right, let me catch up with chat. Oh, I'm so behind. Did I say hi to Rick? Hi, Rick. Let's start at the bottom. If you want to see me see strippers, it's $5. Yeah, I should get Patreon to show my strippers. I'm a cheap girl. I'm very cheap. I'll do credit. Let's see. So welcome, Sparky. I believe I said hi to Artie. And Artie made a good point about the color on connectors determines the thickness of the wires. Huh. I didn't even think about that. Why are you teaching Nisi about screwing things? I mean, a girl's gotta learn, right? Is it better to be Santa Fe Bob or Sideshow Bob? Like side boob. They don't start. Wait, if they don't start, but they don't start till they get much larger. Okay. Tipster from the Rickster. I think I'm all caught up so far with everybody. And I said hi to Ricker. Yeah, because what is it? Spring ahead, right? I think they should just leave the clock alone, but that's just my opinion. Let's see. Ho Artie. I'm no ho. Yeah. Yo ho, yo ho.
All right. You want to put my document camera up? And
Make it bigger.
you can make me smaller or something.
Okay, let me figure it out.
Hold on.
And drag you over there.
Headphones.
There we go. Okay, and then can you do those others, putting something on?
Do you have the microphone on both cameras?
I only have one camera. No. My face isn't showing on the other.
It was there earlier.
All right. I'm hearing you twice.
You're showing the table in 2 spots, or is that his table?
That's his table. This is me.
You were in the upper left corner. Right?
Wait, let me see me. Am I? Oh, I'm there. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, I only have the camera. Only the face camera has the sound. I guess.
Okay. As long as the other one's muted. So you want me to explain the crimpers?
Yeah, let's explain the crimpers. Oh, those look different. Okay.
Okay. These are the cheap ones.
Okay.
Don't laugh at me because the handle kept coming apart, so I just tied rope around it so I have a handle.
Makes sense. It's easier to grasp.
It works, yeah. So at the end here, there's 3 different colors depending
Okay.
on the connector you're using. And then that goes in there. And you want to make sure you crimp that. It does take a little effort, or it takes more effort than the other one.
Okay.
So that's what you need. That's a $5 tool.
Okay.
It's also a stripper. And then these are the other ones. These are ratcheting crimpers.
Oh.
And again, they got the different colors on here for whatever size connector you're using.
Okay.
And you'll see one side is larger than the other side. So the easiest way to do these is you put your connector in there, and the end near the spade or the eyelet is the smaller one,
Okay.
and then the back of it's the bigger one, and that doesn't have to be crimped all that tight. You want to make sure that that's crimped.
Okay.
And then the thing is with these, you squeeze them, and they won't come undone until you get it crimped the whole way.
Oh.
See, so in other words, you have to squeeze it tight enough to get it in there.
Well, that's good because then it's actually crimped when you take it when it releases.
Right.
Okay.
So this is like a $25 crimper, and that's a $5 crimper, or so, roughly.
I bet my dad has that $25 crimper. I'm telling you, is probably sitting over there. Guess where I'm going to be tomorrow at my dad's house. That's going to be a $0 crimper.
And you can get these, and you see there's screws here, so you can actually take the die out of here and put different types of crimps in there.
Oh, so then you're not just beholden to 3 different sizes. You can actually swap it out if you're working with different stuff.
More for things like if you're crimping video cables or something, then you
Okay.
would put like the video crimper in there, video cable crimper. That would be more like a round or a hex type crimp.
Gotcha. All right, so this goes to tighten it.
Rick the crimper.
Rick the crimper. Nice. All right, this is orange. This is orange. Okay, so the next question. Oh, where's my orange? All right, this is what I think, and this is where I just want to see if I'm even close to being right. Okay, so got my handy dandy. Let's just say that I'm working with the positive wire right now. So I'm working on the inside outside track wire for now. My understanding is that each of these sections there's no power getting to the whole thing. I have to run the wire basically to make it have power all the way down the strip, right?
Right. Each one of those are isolated. So
Go
each
ahead.
row, like these two here are not connected to any other two.
Okay.
Yeah. These two here are connected to each other, but they're
Right.
not connected to these.
Okay. So, sorry guys for making you dizzy. I just blew up the screen so
That's
I
all
can't
right.
see any of these words. Okay. So, am I correct that when I'm doing this, wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. So,
Yeah, you're right. You would have to do that to connect each row.
all right. So, do you
Or
do
each
every
column.
other one? So, would I take this one and then I would wire it to the next door neighbor, or do I go one neighbor over?
No, each one, right next to.
So, right here.
Right.
And then after I do this one, then I got to get another, like what you were saying, where you can run 2 at a time. Then I would run another one from here to there.
Yeah.
And then you just keep going down.
Yeah. Now, what I would do, since you're doing a short distance and they're going to be on there, is slip 2 wires in one connector, if you can fit them in there.
So then that's less wires, and then that's going, okay. All right. So then I've done all of that so that this is powered. This wire I'm thinking is the one that's coming actually off the track. So this wire would run here like this, and then that would carry all the power.
So each wire you have on the other side there, like you have in your hand,
Yep.
one's going to come in from the power supply, and then each one, will go to different parts of your track.
Okay. All right. And how do I connect this one to the next one, like to its partner? Does that
Just
make
another
sense?
jumper.
So it's just another. All
Yep. Boop.
right.
Doink.
All right. So that makes sense. Okay. So then I need to figure out how to get a full screen so I can.
No, you're all right.
I did it. All right.
We're seeing the important parts.
That's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
All right. So
Now, let me show you something, Missy, that you're going to say, what? You can get terminal blocks, or bus bars.
okay. What is? Okay.
So those are all connected to each other.
Okay.
So you need, your wire coming in for one,
Yep.
and then one to each. Boink,
Okay.
boink, boink.
That seems easier.
Yeah. Let me see here. I looked these up before, and I forgot. Let's see. Can I share a page?
Oh, let me get on the screen. You can probably share your
Present.
computer screen. You can share your computer screen.
Yeah. Share screen. Hang on. All right, we're in. Okay, is that showing bus bars?
I don't see it. I don't see your computer screen. Did you hit the present bottom at the bottom? In
That's what I
StreamYard?
just did.
Did you hit display all?
Oh, I can hit allow.
There you go. Okay, now I'm going to bring it. There you go. Oh, I've never seen those before. I have
Yeah,
never.
that's the easier way to do it. You don't need jumpers, and those are all connected to each other. So
What about
easy peasy.
those? There, it's almost. I call it a card. It's like a card, and it's got the pieces at the bottom, and you just set it in there. It's like there's a red one and a black one. I've seen that too.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, there's about 20 different styles of that, but that's the easy way to do it.
Okay. Rick's asking, do those have a protective cover? I don't have a. What's a protective cover? I don't have a protective cover.
Just a piece of plastic to cover it, so when you drop your screwdriver on the top of that, it doesn't short everything out.
Oh, I don't want to drop the screwdriver. Okay. All right.
Stop that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
These have a power. You can get them with a power cover.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like 20 different styles.
Try to get back to me.
Just do a search for bus bar.
Bus bar. Gotta make notes. Let me get my honey-do list out here. Bus bar. All right.
This guy I made with the 3D printer and a piece of metal that I had in the garage.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
So the protective covers is something that's permanent on the thing? Like that's no.
No, it's like a clip-on thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this 14 wire is a pain. Is there a reason? Is stranded better than the single wire? Is stranded more durable?
Stranded's flexible.
Okay.
And it carries more current.
Okay.
Although, for what you're running, I don't think it's that critical.
Okay.
Container man lost the signal. And Edward's
here.
here.
That's nice. He must be
Happy
driving.
Valley. Go ahead.
Oh, Steve 87 is back in the house. I didn't see him come in. I'm sorry, you guys. I went to full screen so I could see what was going on. Kane Amos is here. Russ Rockin is here. Welcome. Who is?
Bernard C.
Bernard C is here. Mr. Nisi is on top of it. Happy Valley's been here since the beginning. I think I just missed a few people. All right. Yeah, I think my those are insulated crimpers. You can also get uninsulated crimpers, which are a lot more money and not what a model railroader would need. So buy the correct one. Thank you, Sparky. That's good. I always want insulated. I don't want any sparks. I don't want anything catching on fire. I don't want any of that kind of stuff. All right. So, and then I asked you about the thing being exposed on the backside, and that's not a big deal as long as it doesn't end up on metal, which it wouldn't. It would be on wood. So, all right, and it's just a matter. So this is called daisy chaining, where let me go back to this.
Yes.
So I'm daisy chaining. Whew, this just seems like a lot.
It is.
You did a really good at crimping on the second one. I think once we, oh, you know what? Because we realized you're allowed to see. I was so paranoid that when you put the wire into this connector stay thingy, I thought you weren't supposed to see it, and that was why the wire was falling out when I was crimping it, because I was so paranoid about it. But once you get
You can push the wire in far enough.
yeah, so that would be a big issue, because it crimped much nicer when you did it the second time.
You can solder those too.
Solder
Solder the wires in the connector.
Oh, I don't want to solder. I don't want to do that.
That's too much work.
I don't want to do that. Roy says they make clips to jump power to each screw. Or T connectors off the power bus. T connectors. T connectors. I think that's what I've got also. Is these little knobbies. Are these T connectors?
Oh, yeah. Some people call them suitcase connectors.
Okay. Yeah, I
'Cause
have
they
those.
kind of open and close. Oh no, that's different. I think.
Yeah, no, you put the wire in there and then you snap it shut. And you got the wire, you got the, it's almost like you're going in the middle of a wire to make a connection. And then you use this piece to like slide in there and now you've got, like I have a lot of toys that I don't know what to do with.
That's why we're here.
There's one that's already, there's one, oh, here we go. So when you put the wire in, then you have that little piece. And I guess I can put a wire in on that end and crimp that. And then I've just, I've hacked the power from the one wire in the middle without cutting or doing anything. And now I can add another wire here again. So is that a T connector?
That's another way to do it. I would not use those because if you don't crimp that one around the wire tight
Yeah.
enough and it comes loose, then you lose your connection. And you can't even see where you lost it.
Okay.
I really don't like those connectors.
And
Sam, I am.
No green eggs and ham for you?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, I knew I had one that I'd snapped together. I don't know if I can listen to it or not, but all right. So I have that. Yes, I have lots of toys. That's half what I'm doing with anything. What is that? Is that wire?
I cut it straight.
Oh, okay. So clean up on aisle 9 here.
I have it under control. You don't need to interrupt the show.
I'm not interrupting the show. I'm just getting it so that it's not going to be a problem. All right. So.
Yeah, already says the same thing. He has issues with those. He has issues.
Issues. I don't use those either. Had too many issues with them on the first stage. Okay. Luckily, I just have my layout's not very big, but I don't want to be climbing under there every 5 minutes because something falls out. And I didn't even realize that that was a possible issue until I crimped something incorrectly and found out how easily that can happen.
Yeah. Can you show my document camera?
Yes, I can.
Please.
There you go.
All right, hold on. Citizens. So you put your connector in the crimper.
Okay.
And then
so you guys want me to learn how to solder online on a side truck Sunday? Is that something that you guys would be interested in watching me learn how to do properly? Okay.
So you have 2 wires that are
Yep.
stripped. And we're just going to loosely twist them.
Okay. I like that you can put that thingamabobber into the crimper and then put the, like, you're not trying to hold 2 pieces at once and then get it in the crimper.
Right. I didn't strip that wire. That's why I'm having a problem. Hold on.
No, I didn't get the one with the jumper plates because I didn't know any different, and I knew I needed terminal blocks eventually, so I saw terminal blocks and I bought them. Like, I didn't know any better. Mr. Nisi's giving me the what for. See, the issue with suitcase connectors using the wrong size wire in the connector. Use them for frog power up the drop. So if I need to switch them, it's easy.
Right. That's correct. So you want to make sure that when you crimp them, give them a little tug, make sure they're in there.
Okay.
So you got two separate wires and one connector.
Okay.
So then you can put that there, jumper that guy to there, jumper that guy to there.
Oh. Okay.
And then two wires and that connector.
Nice. All right. So it's really
Okay.
not. It's not really. I don't know. I get paranoid. Like I didn't realize you could do that. Two wires into one thing.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of, like overload. Sparks.
And like I said,
I'm gonna die.
to be sure, you can solder it by putting a soldering iron right here on the end of that.
Yeah.
Like solder it like right there, and the
Yeah.
solder will flow into the wire. And you just need a little bit just to make sure, and that'll work.
Okay. All right. Ratcheting crimpers reduce the chance of making a bad termination. What's a termination?
That's correct. And of course, you want to tug on it to make sure.
So there's like a bazillion different types of terminal blocks apparently. So is there any one that's better than the other one, or are they user's choice, or is one better for small jobs and the others are bigger for bigger jobs, or?
Well, there are different sizes. I mean,
Oh, wow, okay.
there's 4 different sizes.
I feel like these are like ginormous. I feel like these are like the ones I have are like overkill. Because these are like what, 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Size matters.
10.
Yes, use flux.
I definitely know how to use flux.
The termination is what he just did by terminating the wires.
Into the lugs.
Determination? I don't know. Now, this is a slightly different type of connector where the wires go on the side,
Okay.
and then there's a screw that comes down. I'll show you there. So the screw's on the top.
Okay.
Excuse me. And then you slide the wire in the side.
And then you screw it back and it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Yeah, Bernard doesn't like suitcase connectors either.
and that's what those were that I showed earlier. Suitcase. Okay. Deeper says he definitely does not recommend them for anything that moves. Okay, I got it. I won't use them. What else was I gonna ask? A complete brain fart.
That's right, Rick. We have a little booklet for you, on education. Show you all that.
And then you try to pull it out. What are barrel crimps? What's the difference? These are circular. They look like little barrels that you're sticking them in. I don't know where my...
Yeah, you'll have to explain that, Dundas, because actually that could mean a couple different things.
strips have a current rating also. Usually the rating is way higher than a model riveter needs, but not always.
Right.
Strips. These are the strips, the terminal strip. This.
Yeah. You're good for 10 amps on those.
And they're much higher than what we need. Okay.
And you're using about 300 to 400 milliamps, like 0.004 amps. And they're probably rated for about 10 amps.
Let's see. All the things work. It's just you have to have the right tools and follow the instructions and sizes as required. Yeah, I agree with that. Unfortunately, I'm not real good with following instructions. I think I've said it before. I have to actually like hands-on do it. I can read instructions all day long. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's like a disconnect to my brain. So, I mean, right now with my layout as it stands, this is overkill all day long. But at the time, I saw terminal blocks and was like, oh yeah, I gotta have those. So I bought them. I think right now I'd only need a couple wires to get it going.
That's right, Sparky. Put up Sparky's comment.
You start
I mean, really what you need to get to the track is, 20, 22 gauge is more than enough because, I mean, you're pushing milliamps. But,
right.
Like Sparky's got a 20-foot shed or something that goes all the way around. So I think he went with, 14 gauge or something because he's got a long run. But
so you're not dropping current? Is that correct terminology? You're not dropping the power because the bigger the wire, the more current that it's keeping. Is that what I don't understand the point of smaller wire versus bigger wire.
Bigger wire carries more current.
Okay. See, Donda says DBTech insulated. The barrel gets crimped to a square. I still don't understand what that means, James. James, I need a drawing or a picture or something. Thanks, Bernard. I'll take the Atta Girl. So Sparky says,
Edward, I really don't know.
34 feet. 34 feet. Holy
Okay,
Lord.
yeah. The Sparky's got a 30-foot shed.
Jeez.
He's got 30 feet in his shed.
Jeez. That's 34-foot shed he's running his trains in. He's got like 3 or 4 levels. At least 3 levels all the way around. And he's got the big giant helix and everything. Can Loctite, pink the weakest, be used in terminal blocks or does it insulate?
I don't know if I would use Loctite. Wire furls. Okay. That makes sense. That's right, Don. It's the larger the wire, the less voltage drop you have.
So again, my layout, so I'm trying to like learn from past mistakes, and my layout before was 4x8 and now my layout is roughly 7x8. And I didn't realize at the time I had 2 wires running from one spot on the track to back to the bus. And I didn't realize at the time that I was getting sparks. I was getting on the one side farthest from where the power was attached to the track, there was a switch, and at that switch the locomotive would go through there and you'd see like an arcing or whatever. And I guess that was because it wasn't wired the way it needed to be wired. It wasn't enough power or something.
That sounds more like a problem with the switch.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not using those switches anymore anyway.
Sparky would probably be more of an expert on the different types of switches and manufacturers and what works best with DCC.
Okay. James, did you send me a picture? So Sparky says Loctite will be an insulator. What is Loctite? I thought Loctite was like glue or something. When I think Loctite, I think glue.
Loctite's normally something you would put on a screw to put into something to make sure that the screw doesn't come out, like on
So it is
the
like
hub of your car or somewhere in the engine of your car or something, so that, or farm equipment or something. Um, yeah, I don't know if you'd really need that on a terminal strip.
okay. I think I missed. Rick was talking about fuses. Oh, never mind.
What kind of fence did you make, Sparky?
Did work on the scrapyard. Got some fence built up. Oh, cool. Yeah. What kind of fence did you get built up?
Did a stockade or chain link or chicken wire? Popsicle stick. There you go. That works.
Nice. Very, very cool. All right. So I feel like I've learned something. I don't know how much stock.
Rewatch this.
I'll have to rewatch this like 15 times to make it all make sense. But feral. Oh, that's the thing that you sent me the picture of. Okay. Don't need
Sparky, you got to
lots.
break a couple pieces of that because the fence is always broken in a scrap yard.
That's true. He said he stained it dark. I bet that looks really cool.
Yeah. That's right, Artie.
That's very helpful, Artie. Thank you. The rest of the class now understands.
That's what I was thinking. It's a number 4 or number 6 screw or something like that. If you put Loctite on it, and you couldn't get a hold of it to get it out of there.
Hey, Tammy and Ray, welcome. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday night. You guys have been super busy.
Hello, Tammy.
Super busy.
And John, number 2, happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. Yes, happy birthday.
John said hi to me at the beginning, and we were talking, and so I didn't want you to think I ignored you. I have the $5 crimpers. Well, if you crimp them tight enough, that's okay.
I mean, it does the job. It's not really
Sure.
how expensive the tool is. It's just getting the job done. I do like the other ones because they hold it in place for you. But I think, honestly,
yeah, these are very nice. Harbor Freight, Home Depot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put that on the list, Mr. Nisi.
Dad's garage.
Those are $5.
And they have an adjustment rate here on how tight you want to crimp them. So if you crimp it and it doesn't crimp it tight enough,
right,
you got an adjustment here.
Oh. Is it possible to over crimp it?
Well, if you crimp it too tight and your connector kind of like bends out of shape and everything, or it gets all mangled, then yeah, you can over crimp it.
Okay. Another question I have for you: is there a rule of thumb to go by when you're taking the insulation off of these wires? How much insulation you want to be taking off of them? So,
Good question.
I mean, is there a rule of thumb for that, or you just eyeball it, or hope for the best, pray to the angels? I don't know.
Well, you want to make sure that you don't see wire. Crap. You want to make sure you don't see wire. You want to make sure that you don't see bare wire here.
Okay.
And you want to see just a tiny little bit of it here.
Okay.
So that you know that you got it all the way in there.
All right.
So if you're taking and strip it back, like say the length of this insulator.
Yep.
And you shove it in, you see the end of it coming out, then you know that it's in there far enough, you stripped it far enough, and you got a good connection on there.
Okay. And you don't want any on the back side of it showing. So,
right here.
Okay. That makes sense.
So if you want to use the insulator as a guide for the length that you want to strip it, that's a good guide.
Okay.
And you can see this connector has more insulation than that one.
Okay. Oh, that's why it's bigger, because it's got the more insulation in it. I didn't even realize that.
Just different manufacturers. Different styles of connectors. Okay. They even make these without insulation on them.
Oh, but you definitely want insulation, right?
For what you're doing, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like for heat, like to keep the heat, because those wires are getting hot when the power's to them, right?
There shouldn't be that much power that would cause any heat. Again, we're talking 12 to 20 volts at the most, and less than half an amp. So
Okay.
if you've got heat, then you got something wired,
Okay.
and you've got smoke.
I got blue smoke.
Here's a tip: if you see the terminal block melting, then you have
Oh.
problems.
Oh yeah, no melty. I don't, no melty. That's bad.
I got a trivia question.
Okay.
So these crimpers, most of these people saw them, and they've got these holes in here.
Right.
Does anybody know what those holes are for?
Yeah. What are those holes for?
That's correct. Sparky wins. You can use them as a screw guide, so you can see, what size screw you have.
Right.
So if it fits in there, they're numbered. It says 632. But then actually, if you screw it in there far enough to the other side, then you squeeze it.
You just cut it.
It'll cut your screw.
Huh.
So if you got a screw that's too long, you can cut it.
Well, ain't that something?
Yep.
That's pretty handy dandy.
Boot light.
I like it. Boat light. Okay, Bernhard.
Oh, boat. Why are we talking about boat light? Like,
I have no idea.
he's going to hurt the soft hand. Who are you talking about, Sparky?
Yeah, right? I just definitely learned something new. I would have had no idea that's what that was for.
Oh, already learned something too. Cool.
James says he has several pairs of them. Why do you have several? You only need like one. And then when you
No,
lose
you need
that
at least 4 because you lose them.
I mean, I'm one to talk. I got like 10 pairs of scissors because, I never find them. John Knopfel says it's something he didn't know either.
Cool.
Huh.
Yeah,
That's
these guys and these guys,
yeah.
I've got about 6 pair of them because they just end up all over the place.
I mean, I can lose a pen while I'm sitting here doing stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Literally put it down for a hot second, and then when I go to pick it back up, it's just walked off. I don't know.
Yeah.
James is saying, I use them at work, electrical apparatus service tech. Oh, okay.
So you understand this, you're going to have like one bus bar for your positive and then another separate one for your negative.
Yeah, so that's what I had started to do was I had cut blue for the whatever. This one's, I'd say this one's positive, this one's negative, so it'd be all the same color wire for that one, all the same color wire for. Oh, I'm not even. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is professional, folks. This is professional YouTubing at its best.
Now, I'm not sure what you're doing, Nissy. You said you have an 8x7?
Yeah.
8x7.
8x7.
Okay. I can't imagine how many different feeders you need.
I don't.
Some people say put them like every 3 pieces of track. I can't imagine. I don't use DCC. And I really got to research that because that doesn't make sense to me that you would need that many feeders. Sounds like your track's not connected if you need that many feeders, but I don't know. Sparky would be the expert on DCC and like how often do you need feeders, Sparky?
Yeah, Sparky, tell us. Yeah,
Tell us, Sparky.
Like I said, when I first started watching everybody and they were like, you got to put your railroad into blocks because it's easier in case something goes down, then you're able to find the problem faster. Made sense. Then I saw terminal blocks and I grabbed them up because, I had to have terminal blocks. And then I realized I don't even know how to wire them up. And I thought this would be a good way of getting my feet wet with electrical because I just trying to watch videos on how to do it and I can't. Just not making head on it. So I figured, wait, what was that?
Well, look at what Sparky and Dundas put in there.
Right, so
And then
she has
Bernard
one.
made me laugh.
So that's 2 wires, Sparky. That's just one positive and one negative back to the bus, power bus.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. My layout not finished, and I'm using 1 feeder. Okay.
Yeah.
Now
I can see the advantage. The advantage to having a couple feeders is if you have a couple switches in there.
Right.
And switches can be problematic.
Yeah,
so that helps.
I have switches. So what I had done was I dropped wires. I have inside track and outside track. So I dropped wires in one corner for both tracks, and then on the opposite corner did the same thing. Then went around the corner and dropped more. And so I have like 4 corners that I've dropped wires into. I don't know if I need them. I may just need 2 wires and be good with it. But I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 or 5 switches on my layout. I'm not planning on running operations on my layout, so I would not be, reverse polarity. I don't believe I'd have reverse polarity. The engine would be running always in the same direction. Well, that's not true because I have that little fiddle yard.
If you go back, there's a couple good comments in there from Sparky on Don.
All right, let's see. Truth be told, you only need 1. No matter the size of the layout, the reason people run more is just for the DCC signal system. This signal system, so I don't
understand why DCC would need more feeders. I don't know.
Roy's saying every 3 feet.
Okay.
Lynn said, I have 4-foot modules, 1 feeder to each track. If there's a turnout, then 1 feeder each side of the turnout.
That's a lot of feeders.
I know I don't have to do that with the Pico. I think I can just have 1 at the front.
Feeders after all switches just because they're insulated rails. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Switches can be problematic, and depending on if you have powered frogs or turnouts.
I have
some are.
Yeah, I have Ensel frogs, and the way that the insulators are on it, I can get away. I know after getting with somebody, I think it was Thomas, told me that I could get away with putting the power on the front side of it. Already has power feeders to reduce power failure. Plan to use 1 feeder between a turnout. All joiners between the turnouts are soldered. I know some people like solder their entire track. I did that for my
I've seen that, and I don't understand it.
I did it for my in scale on the top wall because I needed it to go around a corner, obviously. And every time I tried to do that, the track just would not. There was no amount of anything that I could do to make that stay together. And as soon as I soldered all the pieces of track together, then it was like easy peasy to put it together. But I don't want to do that for my entire layout. So Sparky, feeder after all switches just because they're insulated rails. For segregated block detection in my case. Yeah, I think my layout is just small and I don't think I need as much.
What you could do, Nissy, put 1 feeder in, start running your train, and if it gets quarter way around and then the train stops, well, then you might need another feeder there.
That's true. I think that's why I just have wires dropped, and I'm only going to solder 1.
Edward's saying every 6 feet. And somebody else was saying 3 feet, so.
His layout is 8 feet by 18 inches in 2 4-foot sections. Okay. I mean, because honestly, where the power is located, I don't even think it's 6 feet. I don't think that's 6 foot distance. James says he's not doing block detection. Mike says good advice there, Dave.
I have DC only, and I'm using brass track, and I just have 1 main feeder, and that's it.
Yeah. I solder track, but not my switches.
Yeah, it's very sad when you solder a switch and you melt it, and then you just ruined a good switch.
John says I'm just DC and don't use feeders.
Yeah.
What is this? 7x8. I would run 2 sets of feeders, 1 set on the left and 1 set on the right, or front and back.
Yeah. Again, if you think you need more feeders, check your track first to make sure your track's connected and clean.
True.
Make sure you don't do that mistake where you put the coupler or the rail joiner underneath the track instead of where it's supposed to be.
Yes. I've done that and didn't realize it, and moved on to do something else. And I don't know, for some reason I was standing there and realized, wait a minute, you can literally lift the track up. It's not attached on the one side.
Right.
Why is it with rail joiners that one rail will slide in beautifully and the other one's just like, no, you can kiss my Royal American and Heine, you're not gonna slide in
Because you
there.
put 6 pieces of track together and you're like, oh, I know what I'm doing, and you get
Right.
overconfident, and then you don't look at the last one, and you're like, then you have that problem.
But I mean, if the left side went in, then the right side should go in. It's like your 2 feet are walking down the street. If the left one goes, the right one goes. It only makes sense. I mean,
It should, but it doesn't.
yeah. So
Already says refer to your DCC guide.
15 feeders and 20 feet till the cows got bigger. I'm so confused. I think we're actually talking about feeding cows.
Edward's saying DCC is more finicky, and it's true. It's a digital signal.
Yeah.
But you can run digital signals over Cat5 wire that's 24 gauge. So I don't know.
The only reason people drop these feeders is because the DCC companies told you that you need them. You don't. One feeder will run a layout, but who am I to argue with the big guys?
Well, there you go.
This is the man who has 34 plus feet of layout space, and this man is saying,
And 14 gauge wire.
And he's saying, mic drop. So, wait, Deep Run says, what manufacturer turnouts are you using, Electro or Ensel? Have Ensel frogs. They're, I believe, the easiest to use, especially for, I'm not even a newbie. I'm just like the naive person, like totally.
She's playing with Lego.
I mean, Lego's easy. I can understand put this 2x4 with this 2x4. Like, I can understand that.
Yep.
Redundancy never hurts. It just costs more money. Yeah, well, clearly I cost Mr. Nisi some money buying, he's clapping his hands, by buying all these little ditties that
Well, those are still a lot of fun.
I don't need them right now. I mean, they're not going anywhere, and there's nothing bad's going to happen to them. So if I start getting real fancy-dancy, I can do something.
We'll have to come up with some projects for those.
There you go.
Here goes Greg's beer money. You just spend it on connectors.
There it went.
That whole box of suitcase connectors.
Metal is metal. Electricity don't care. I mean, see what Sparky's saying, and like when I'm talking to you, and even when I've talked to Thomas when I was asking him about the Picos or whatever.
His name's Sparky, though.
Yeah. Sparky.
How did he get that name?
He's an electrician.
Yeah.
Back up. So when I talk to the
Cause
three
some
of you guys, yeah, right. When I talk to the three of you, so I'm so intimidated by electricity, and I've always been taught you don't mess around with electricity. And I'm the one that always makes fun of people down here when they get mad because somebody won't work on their air conditioner or something outside when it's a downpour or a thunderstorm. And I'm like, yeah, dude, because water and electricity don't mix. So I'm very much intimidated by electricity. I don't want to be that person that so you have the people of Walmart that you see on the thing where they take pictures of how they dress. I don't want to be the people of DIY wiring, and I'm now on the internet floating around out there because look at this doofus Juan just did, and yeah. So I'm so paranoid that I don't want to screw it up, and I don't want to spend extra money, but I also don't want to be, oh, this is just easy peasy. So then when I talk to you guys are like, it's not rocket science. It's really not that hard. It's just a couple of wires.
That's exactly right, Edward.
All right, so I'm way behind. So let me try to catch up. The lower quality of your track work. Wait, what's this? 6 out of 5 doctors will tell you something different. Now that's my kind of math. I'm liking that kind of math. That math is mathing right there. I'm all about that. Lower the quality of your track work, the more feeders you need for DCC. Okay. Yeah, and I'm so paranoid about screwing that up that I'm with my little needle nose files, like trying to keep everything together. The one thing I would say not soldering my turnouts, and again, this is like your children, like everybody has different ways of doing it. I would be intimidated of doing that because, what if I decide that's not the turnout I want? And I feel like now you're kind of locked into it. But,
you know how to use a multimeter?
Yes, I have my dad's multimeter. He kind of gave me a quick lesson on it. But
Okay, so you know how to test for voltage and resistance to make sure that the wire's connected.
Yeah. He gave me I actually learned that. He actually gave me a lesson on how to do it with his big old meter. Do run feeders after all switches because they're insulated from the main line. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what we're talking about.
Especially doctors in these areas.
I would say, Nisi, plan on putting, say, 4 feeders in there for the size of what you're doing. That should work.
Okay.
I mean, if you need more than that, then you need to check your track work and make sure that you don't have a turnout that's not wired right or something.
Right.
And of course, make sure that you get the wires connected to the right side of the track.
Yeah, I made a point to make sure that all this color wire is on the outside of the track and all this color wire is all on the inside of the track.
Right.
So I don't have any cross wiring going on.
Right.
But so Sparky says, see, this is an argument I can't win because all these companies have said to do it, so we issue do it. We do and we don't. Like I'm fighting the man.
And that's the whole reason Nisi's confused.
Yeah, because there's 15 different doggone ways to do it, and I don't know what you can get away with. What is safe? What is considered an okay workaround, or what shortcuts are safe to do? So there's certain things I'll be like, you don't have to do that. You can get away from doing that. But in electricity, I get nervous. Like if I cut that corner, I feel like I'm cutting a corner, and I don't want to cut a corner just because I'm lazy.
Well, again, we're dealing with 12 volts or something and less than a half an amp. So you're not going to blow anything up.
Damn it. That was going to be my next sidetrack Sunday. Now I got to plan a whole new doggone show.
Yeah, Edward's got a good point too. Before you put your DCC engines on there and burn them up, test it with a DC engine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. DC is what's getting wired up first, and then DCC will get wired up second. But
okay, then do your DC first, and then
I'll blow those
if
up.
that works, so you don't burn up a $500 DCC engine.
PK, hey, welcome, PK. Yeah, I never have wanted to be an electrician. Cold rail for me. To be honest, I was under that layout and I was running just a few wires, and after about 10 minutes of crawling around on my hands and knees and trying to pull the wire and make sure I had enough to get to where I needed it to go, it's like hot, humid under the table, and I was sweating. And I think I put on my Facebook page, if you have never thought about it before, you should hug an electrician, because dark, cramped spaces is not a place for me. So
good point, Sparky.
The owner of OVR Trains has a layout with 300 feet of track, 1 feeder wire, just saying. You would think he would know if you need to or not. Yeah. So less is actually better, and it's overkill with the other stuff. Unless you find you have a problem and then you need it, then you add it. But you don't need to start out with it from the get-go.
Right.
Let's see, one last thing here. And ECJ, you have quite the collection of color paper. Yeah, Jerry, that's just tip of the iceberg. I got paper from the window to the walls.
You want to do a trivia thing?
Yeah, let's do one more trivia.
Okay. So I have two cabooses here. Caboose, yes. One has the cupola in the middle, and one has it on the end.
Okay.
Why is that? Anybody know?
I have an idea, but I don't know. Do do do.
Yeah. Okay, nobody knows.
So is one like a sleeper one for like workers or something, and so it's in the middle?
No, because cabooses were originally made. Takes the same amount of time to get to either end. The other one has bedrooms, the other one doesn't. Well, kind of already. Oh, that's right. You were on Grossi's show. I did this once before.
Okay.
But cabooses were originally made like this, just out of simplicity.
Right.
And then after a while, they found out that they needed more room in the caboose. And plus the fact that the smaller ones would wobble and rattle around too much.
Mm-hmm.
So they just made them bigger. So basically, they took a caboose like this and they made it like that.
Okay.
So they started out like this and then just added on more to it.
Yeah. I thought there was like some big meaning, like we can see better when we're going down behind the locomotive or something.
Nope, has nothing to do with it.
Right.
That's what I thought too. Is they just needed more space, and the smaller ones would rattle around too much, so that gave it more stability and more office space.
Nice.
Yeah, 5 day wider for guys like me.
They're still pretty small on the inside, though. I don't think I'd want to spend days on that. What is he saying? On some railroad, conductors were.
That's right, Artie.
Huh. Okay.
Because the guy that actually ran the train was in the caboose. The guy at the front, he just added more coal or added more diesel.
Ugh.
And the guy in the caboose said, "Go faster or go slower."
Hurry up! Hurry up! That's funny. All right, I would think a center cupola would allow it to run in either direction with the same view from the cupola.
Yeah, I always thought there was some big reason for it, but there's not. It's just
Bigger.
It doesn't do anything different. It's just
Bigger is better.
they can see both directions. Lots of room in the caboose for Manisi.
I've been inside the cabooses, and it gives me claustrophobia. Like, it's small. They have a bathroom in there. Some of them have a little pot in there, and it's really not a lot of space.
So you need to go out and get 100 of these.
Okay.
And maybe if you want, get these guys instead.
Okay.
That would be easier. So no jumpers then if you do this.
Okay.
That's right, Edward. The 4-wheel bobber was too wobbly or a rough ride, so they made them bigger.
Whoops. There we go. All right, you guys. I think I learned something tonight.
Well, I think we all learned something.
Yeah.
I learned a little about DCC.
Yeah, DCC sounds like it's finicky. That's another bird to tackle down the road, but
That includes half of them that she drops on the floor or crimps incorrectly, Sparky.
Oh, this for a 6x7 layout. Oh boy. Well, you never have too much of stuff, right? I mean, you need backups. And how else is Mr. Nisi going to lose money? I have to spend it on something. Just saying. So I got to keep him working overtime. But Dan, I really appreciate you coming on tonight. I know I kind of dropped the ball with double checking with you and making sure you're still coming on tonight. So
that's all right.
I do appreciate you coming on tonight and working through this with me. It helps doing hands-on because it just doesn't stick if I don't actively do something. So I am very grateful to that. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. And
Sure.
We did not have any blue smoke or green smoke. Mr. Nisi did not catch on fire. I think that's a win for all of us. There was no howling or yelling in the background from it. So, before I forget, I always forget business. Next week's show is on Rick's channel, the Fultz Bailey Model Railroad, and he will be at 8 o'clock. I think that's all my business. I always forget the stuff. So,
Thanks,
all
John.
right, everybody, take care and have a good rest of your Sunday night and have a safe week because it's gonna be a week, right?
Right,
Take
back
care,
to
everyone.
work.
Bye, everybody.
Cool.